Hey everyone, welcome back to Hills and Hollers Homestead, and welcome to the first comers, and welcome back to the people who are subscribed. Today I just got back. Went on a feed run today, and I got feed for the chicks, and then I got about a half a ton of feed for the pigs. I just got it unloaded, and it's so daggone humid out here. This humidity is just terrible, but so you'll see me sweating. There's a product I want to talk to you guys about, and if you make your own sausage at home, even like during deer season and stuff, if you make your own deer seasoning or deer sausage rather, I've tried like the Old Plantation, the Legs Old Plantation brand. I've tried several different commercial brands. I've done some local, custom mixes and stuff. And living in this part of West Virginia, we have a very high Italian population here because of the coal mines and the railroad from the early days. So you get that flavor trend here because everybody come from different parts of Italy, and they used what was regionally available to them over there. And when they came here, it was limited, so they had to kind of make their own little custom stuff. And one of the things that I love to do myself is I love to make my own sausage. And I do a coarse grind. I do one single grind on my sausage, on the meat, and then I mix my seasoning and stuff in it. And I really love hot Italian sausage. And around here, you get different flavorings. Some people add more fennel, some people add less fennel, some people just, it differs from place to place. So where I go buy my feed, they have this brand. It's called Con Jaeger, and I know it's backwards on the camera, so I apologize for that. Con Jaeger is the brand, and this is the recipe number 515, the hot Italian sausage. And I think this will do 10 or 15 pounds. I can't remember, and I can't see it because I don't have my reading glasses on and the writing is so small. But that by far is the best Italian sausage seasoning I've ever used. Now when I do my sausage, of course I said I coarse grind it one time, and then I mix my seasoning in it with some cold water, and then I hand mix it real well, and I put it in a bowl, and I put it in the refrigerator, cover it with cellophane, and put it in the refrigerator for 2 days, 2 full days before I pull it out, and then I'll package it. And it is absolutely the best. Now you can add more crushed red pepper to it, or red pepper flake to it if you want to make it a little bit more spicier, but to me this is just absolutely perfect. So I just wanted to kind of highlight that product right there, because, and I'm not sponsored by anybody obviously, but that right there, that's really good. And I looked online, and it's a lot more expensive to get it online for me. I found that it's $2.99 a bag up there at the feed store. So I just, every time I go there and buy feed, I get like 2 or 3 bags of it just to kind of keep it on hand. But anyways, deer season's coming up, so I thought I better go ahead and stock up because I love to make sausage with deer, and the hot Italian is one of my favorite ones. They have a bunch of different kinds. I didn't like their breakfast sausage blend too much. It's okay, but it didn't suit my taste. So, and of course, having COVID back in 2020, my taste still isn't right anyways. My smell's not right. My wife will tell you that I'm not right all the way around, so it just kind of plays into each other. Energy crisis is going on pretty significantly because we all know that everything is going to be increasing and is increasing. And let me step out of the sun there and take these glasses off. Whew, man, it's just hot and humid. All right, so fuel prices here are still high. I went last night and did a fuel run. My Kubota mower is diesel, and of course my John Deere is diesel. And I went and I took 2 5-gallon cans with me, and I filled my Jeep up. It took $48 to fill my Jeep up. It took $68 and change to fill these 2 5-gallon jugs up with diesel. So, and the fuel light was on my Jeep. So, that'll tell you something. But anyways, so they say that fuel prices are coming down. Gas prices have come down, but diesel hasn't. Diesel's still at $5.89 a gallon. And of course, that depends on where you go. It's either $5.89, $5.79, or $5.99, depending. But they were talking about the UK. They had a report coming out of there that because of the whole Ukraine-Russia thing and the Nord Stream natural gas and everything like that, that they are now predicting, as I guess that part of Europe, the UK is going into winter, or we're coming into autumn, they're going into winter, that they're predicting 1 in 10 people in the UK will experience what they were calling energy poverty. It's like, you got to be kidding me. So like 1 in 10 people will not be able to afford to heat their homes, or will have to go without something else necessary in order to afford their utility bills. And you turn around and you look here, what's going on with the droughts out in the west and stuff. There was just a place in Colorado and it's a region of Colorado it's supplied by this one particular electric company called Xcel, XCEL. And I guess when you're a customer, from what I understand, when you're a customer of that company, not only do you have a meter that lets them, you know, read how much electric and stuff that you're using, you're required to put a thermostat in your home that they provide that they can not only monitor, but they can control. And people were saying they just had a heat wave there. It was like 90 degrees, and people were going to turn their thermostats down to cool it off in their homes. And some people weren't able to control their thermostat past 78 degrees. They couldn't get any lower than 78, and others couldn't adjust it at all. And they were saying it was like 88 degrees in their homes. And they were completely locked out of their thermostats. And it wasn't a software glitch. The electric company locked it down and locked them out. And they did that because to conserve energy, to avoid an energy crisis because of the heat. And that really struck a chord with me, because I thought, geez, oh whiz, is that it's unbelievable. You wouldn't think of that kind of stuff in a place like America. But then we turn around and we look at everything that we've given up. We've allowed them to slowly chip away at our rights, our freedoms, our liberties, in place of security. We've given up liberties for security. And you know the old saying, those who give up liberties for security deserve neither. So, you know, or something like that. I'm paraphrasing because I'm sweating again. God Lord. But you know, that's just too much control. That's beyond ridiculousness. And you know, it makes me, and I've talked about this in other videos, it makes me more and more want to get at least something as a solar backup for us. Now I know solar is not going to run my central air exclusively. It may run my solar air or my central air exclusively, but as far as like the rest of the house to run fans and stuff like that, just to keep the air moving, you can do that. But I want to get some type of a backup just to have, as you know, to keep my refrigerators and freezers running and a couple fans if it really gets that bad. Ultimately, I'd love to go completely off-grid solar. I want to do that, and I've wanted to do that for quite a long time. And with the passing of the yeah, well, we'll just say the Green New Deal. With that, you get 30% tax rebates on, you know, solar and alternative energy needs. So I may do that. I may go that route just because I would like to do that. But I definitely want to get something on a standby to have as a little backup, maybe like a 4,000 watt system or 4,000 kilowatt system that I could put in with a few panels and some batteries and stuff to kind of have as a backup to make an umbilical for the house if we need it, rather than hooking the whole house up to it right now. And that could, you know, give me alternative energy on other parts of the property here, because I can run from here to there type of thing. And I can put the whole system in here in the building, have electric here, and use this building as my umbilical to the house for my water, or my freezers, my refrigerators, and fans and stuff if need be. So that's something I'm really going to start focusing on here. I'm going to kind of wait for everything to kind of take effect. And like I said, with what we did with the NRCS, USDA, and stuff like that, taking advantage of, you know, grant money available to us that's ultimately derived from the taxes that we pay. If they're going to give us 30% tax break to buy alternative energy sources, solar's good. I mean, it really is. It has its place. It's not going to solve all of our problems. It's not quite as efficient as it could be. But with the rebates that they're offering, the tax rebates that they're offering on top of everything right now, it's something I truly want to look into. I mean, like I said, with everything else going on in energy costs, I'd love to be able to have that backup. But like with the wood stove and stuff that we had put in last year, you know, that stove can heat our entire house. I mean, we have our house like a little over 1,800 square feet on a full basement, so it's like over 3,600 square feet. But that stove in the basement will heat that entire house, because that air gets trapped up against the bottom or the floor, and it just warms that whole house. I mean, there was weeks last year that we went with not running the furnace at all. And I will turn the furnace down at night to like 65, and it's not kicked on. I've got up, it's 68 degrees in the house. So it's a good, effective stove to keep the house warm and to help conserve on heating costs and everything. Now, having natural gas is cheaper, so it doesn't cost as much to warm our house. I think last year, probably, it was, I think the highest bill was just under $200, and that was just to keep the house, you know, through the winter. But in the summer, we're just about $300 every month to keep the house cool. And you can tell I'm by no means a cold-blooded person. I'm hot-natured. But, you know, having those alternate means and having some kind of backup to kind of help offset or umbilical yourself in case something like that would happen. You know, West Virginia being a coal state and a high coal producer, I'm not too much worried about it. I mean, from my house, I can see the Harrison Power Station, or at least the stacks and stuff, the smoke and the steam and stuff. And I've pretty much my entire life, I've been within view of that place. So, you know, and it provides electricity to all the areas around here. So, you know, I'm not too worried about something like that happening here. But what I am worried about is as things get worse out west, that they divert energy and do planned rolling blackouts on the East Coast to help get those folks power out there. Which, if they do that, that's fine. I mean, if people need help, they need help. But I think the government should be doing something more about fixing these problems, or doing something more to make alternate energy more affordable for people, much more than a 30% tax break. So, I mean, okay, so for the 30% tax break, I think if I figured it up right, it was like $42,000 to do off-grid here, or $40,000 or $42,000, and I think we would end up with like $26,000 or $27,000 with that 30% tax break. And, you know, that, yeah, it was $40,000, so $40,000 would give us like $28,000 that we would owe. That's a hell of a cut. It really is. And to be able to go completely off-grid, hey, that'd be great. That'd be absolutely great. That's independence for me. You know what I mean? That gives me that degree of independence. That's cutting that umbilical and giving us that option to not be dependent on another entity. And that's my ultimate goal in the end is to be, other than internet, if we can produce our own energy here, if we can get our own water from right here, those are two of the biggest steps I think that I could ever accomplish. And with producing our own food and stuff and raising our own animals and processing our own animals as much as we can, hey, that's almost complete, like I said, 80 to 90% self-reliance. And that's what I want to go for. So that's what we're working towards. I mean, I don't ever want to see a day where we're like, you know, the poor folks in the UK and everything are going to be facing, and even across Europe as energy prices just go out of control because of the Russia-Ukraine thing. But you have to have backups. That's what I'm telling you. You know, in all of these videos, you have to have a plan for a plan. So you have to have a backup plan. That's why we went and installed a wood stove. It helps save us energy, and it helps also provide us with heat, boiling water, you know, warming water to bathe in, cooking, all of that in case there was a power outage or an outage that would affect both electric and gas, because we have a natural gas standby generator. I also have a gasoline standby generator, but gasoline, of course, if it gets in short supply, what are you going to be doing then? So, and you can convert these gas generators, almost every gas generator on the market right now, gasoline. You can get the dual fuel where they run on either gasoline or propane, LP, or you can get a conversion kit that's just a bolt one. You pretty much bolt it right on, and it'll turn your gasoline generator into an LP generator. Then you can run off of like the 15 pounders, the 10 or 15 pound tanks for like cooking grills and stuff, and you can run your generator off of that. So, and that would be something good to have, and I would actually like to think about doing that for this, just to have it as a backup as well, in case that would ever be a problem. But you have to have a plan for a plan. You have to have a backup for a backup. And that's just, you know, my message today is because of everything going on, that's where food comes into play. Food you have on hand if there's a food shortage. Food you have on hand if you run into hard times. Food you have on hand if you run into people who need help. You've got that added food, extra food there. So, you know, everything has more than one purpose, and that's why a plan should have a plan. So that's all I'm going to harp on today. It's hot. Miserable. Because I'm just standing here sweating. I mean, honest to goodness, there's a breeze and everything, but it's so humid, I'm just standing here sweating. But I got a lot to do today, so I'm going to stop complaining and just go do my work and shut up. Anyways, I want you guys to keep working to starve that system, because that system is definitely trying to starve you. Get prepared. Stay prepared. Get a backup for the backup. Take care, and God bless.